Rachel Maddow, as you all know by now, has been the laughingstock of the country among both the right and the left because she overhyped a story that went absolutely nowhere. Now, I used to respect Rachel Maddow, but she is one of the many people that fell from grace after she revealed that she was just a propagandist for the Democratic Party in 2016. Now, she tweeted out that we've got Trump tax returns seriously. Now, when you read that tweet, I mean, certainly when I read the tweet, there was this implication that she was able to obtain his more recent tax returns, which are important so that way we can know more specifically about his business dealings. However, 9 p.m. rolled around and, she began to talk about how it's really important that we see what's in president's tax returns. And she just dragged it on. And she even had a cliffhanger where she left us on a commercial break and said, we'll reveal them when we come back. So she overhyped this way too much. And finally, when she got to the tax returns, she revealed absolutely nothing.
What I have here is a copy of Donald Trump's tax returns. We have his federal tax return for 1 year for 2005. I believe this is the only set of the president's federal taxes that reporters have ever gotten a hold of. What we have are these 2 pages, front and back, from the same 1040 form that you might have filled out when you file your taxes. And in terms of what's on here, let me give you the basics. Aside from the numbers being large, these pages are straightforward. He paid $38 million, looks like $38 million in taxes. He took a big write-down of $103 million. More on that later. If you add up the lines for income, he made more than $150 million in that year. Mazel tov. We got these pages. We got this document today from a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative journalist who's better on financial matters than almost anybody else in the business. His name is David K. Johnston. These pages turned up the other day in his mailbox. David will join us live here in just a moment. But because nobody has had the president's taxes before, we didn't know what to expect. When we showed this 2005 return to the White House to ask them if it's real, we sent this over to the White House tonight, and the White House responded basically with, yep.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that wasn't what you made it out to be, Rachel. Did you honestly think that we would be excited, or as excited as you had anticipated, for his 12-year-old tax returns? Really? That don't reveal anything? And now there's a substantial portion of people that believe that Donald Trump himself planted these tax returns so that way he would give it to someone that would give it to a journalist because this makes him look good. Because for someone that made $150 million, I don't think that a 25% tax rate is fair. But I mean, there's no real bombshells in these tax returns. There's no information about his business dealings. And it's 12 years old, Rachel.
Yep.
So what you did was you allowed Donald Trump to brag about this because he paid more in taxes than Mitt Romney. He paid more in taxes than Bernie Sanders even. And he should pay more in taxes than someone like Bernie Sanders because he makes more money than Bernie Sanders. But this percentage, even though it's still too low, it's not as bad as other politicians. So you built this up as though you were going to reveal something that showed his corruption or showed that he was evading his taxes when you revealed the complete opposite. You helped Donald Trump, Rachel. What I thought initially was that she learned about sensationalism the hard way because everyone was mocking her. You had late night hosts like Stephen Colbert mocking her and the whole country on Twitter, just mocking her relentlessly. However, it seems as though Rachel Maddow is the one that's going to be getting the last laugh because as Mediaite puts it, the most remarkable part of this story may be the ratings generated in an hour of cable primetime focusing exclusively on taxes. Rachel Maddow just trolled all of us for ratings.
Yep.
You helped him. He looks good now because of this. So this, I think, will assuage any speculation that we have now about his more recent tax returns when I still want to see his more recent tax returns. I want to know about the potential conflicts of interest and how he does his business dealings because that will tell me about his way of governing and whether or not he's going to show favor to these countries that he has business dealings in. So, I mean, this is so frustrating. This isn't what we wanted, obviously. The point of seeing the tax returns was to get to the bottom of whether or not he's doing anything bad and whether or not he's paying his taxes. But what you revealed was nothing, Rachel. So this is such an embarrassment. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, even though she was mocked, that ratings boost is probably going to lead to her getting a big check from MSNBC. So, I mean, she's the one who's really getting the last laugh at the end of the day, because sensationalism sells, unfortunately. And her doing this, even though it led to her decline in credibility potentially, you know, I think that MSNBC probably liked it, and we're probably going to see them encourage more of this type of behavior from their hosts. So, you know, it's just such a stupid debacle.
Yep.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.